Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and work on surface area of prisms. So there's two things, lateral, or I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is basically your sides. So lateral is going to be the sides of the figure. And if you look at this as prism, so that could be triangular prism and it could be rectangular prism. Those are the two that we really cover. So lateral are going to be, again, your sides. And then the total is going to be, obviously, the sides. You see that? The sides, and now the bases. So what makes it a prism are your bases. Bases are the two parallel bases, the two parallel shapes. So like for today, we're going to start off very simple with, hold on, with rectangular prisms. Sorry about that. So prism are your two bases that are parallel to each other. Since this is a rectangular prism, that means that my bases are rectangles. So I always look at the bottom. My vision, I always look at these as the bottom. Since that one's parallel to this one, those are your bases. This one's the base, and each of these things are parallel as far as the bases, so that makes it a prism. I'm going to try to draw a triangular prism, but why this is called a triangular prism? Because you have the triangles that are parallel to each other. Okay? Triangular prism, rectangular prism. So let's just come out here and just jump into the formula. Now the formula for the all prisms are going to be, my bad, rectangular prisms are pH and pH plus 2b. Now what that means, pH, please don't forget this, means to get your perimeter. Perimeter. And that goes back to elementary where you add up the distance around, okay? Times your h, your height. And the height is the distance from one base to the other base. They're not hard, they're pretty easy after a while, but you do have to take time to get looking at it and figure out how to, manipulate the numbers or use the numbers to your advantage. So P again stands for perimeter, Perimeter, and then B again is going to be your area of your base. Now all these areas and everything are basically, I want to say dealing off of elementary stuff. Area is third grade, perimeter is pre-third grade, and now you just got to figure out the numbers and where they go. So for the surface area, it's just pH. Okay. Now P is always going to be the perimeter of the base. The base is going to be this bottom one here. So I'm going to color coordinate it, and this is how you work this one out. So I guess I'll change it to red over here and make that an H. Okay. So the P, how do you get the perimeter? Well, the distance around is how you get your numbers. I want to say that's a 2. I really can't tell. You know what? I think it's a 4 looking at this one here. It's a 4. We're going to go with a 4. So this is a 4. So that's a 4 down here. And then that's an 8 over here. So the distance around the base are dealing with, ready? 4 and 8. So the distance around the base is your perimeter. So how I do that is I'm going to just add them up. 4 plus 8. And how many of those do I have? I already have 2 of them. Well, what do you mean I have 2 of them? I have 4 plus 8, and then I have another 4 plus 8. So you get the perimeter to do this right there. Alright? And let's figure out what the perimeter is, and let's figure out what the height is. So when I do the perimeter, I'm going to add these right here, and I get 12 plus 2. It gives me, what, 24? Wait, 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. And 12 times 2 is 24. Now the height. The height, I'm going to do it in red. And the height is the distance from base to base, which is the bases are that top one, an 8 by 4, and the bottom one, an 8 by 4, and your height is 3. So now in the formula, don't forget what the formula is saying to do. Surface area is equal to your perimeter times your height. So just put the numbers in there. 24 times 3. And so we come out here and just finish it up. What in the world is 24 times 3? I believe it is 72. Area, this is going to be 72, what are these, yards? Yards squared. I'm going to tell you area is always going to be squared. Squarea, Okay, now let's look at this total surface area. The total surface area in this situation is going to be, the formula is a lot alike. It's going to be S is equal to PH. Okay, I'm going to have to do a lot of colors here. PH, and I'll do that one in red again. No, let me change colors. Plus is plus. And then I guess 2 is going to be just the number 2. And then B. So there's a formula. I'm changing all the colors here so you can just keep track of what's what and how this works out. So let's look at the P. And the P, again, is going to be the perimeter of the base. First, identify this thing as a rectangular prism, so that means my rectangle down here is my base. You can kind of see it shaded. Usually it's the bottom one, okay? So we're going to go here. This is a 4, and that's an 8. So how do I get the perimeter of a rectangle? And that's the P part. I'm working on the P. I'm going to go 2 of 4 and 8. 4 plus 8. Why again 4 plus 8? Because I have a 4 here and an 8 here, and I have another 4, another 8 here. So then that's it, times my height, the distance from one base to the other base, 3. And then plus is always there, and that format just calls for it, alright? And then plus is that's it. Well, 2 is 2, and I guess I don't have to do anything with those colors. And then the B, what's my B? My B is going to be the big B, don't forget that big B is equal to your area of your base. Okay, so the area of the base. So I find that figure down here, and how do I get the area of a rectangle? It's going to be 4 times 8, which is, well, let me just put all the numbers there. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. And then 3 is just 3. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, so let me start doing the formula here. So remember, don't forget the formula. The formula is going to be S is equal to your P, which is in the situation 24, times my height of 3, plus, and then the 2. Where does the 2 come from? It's just kind of from the formula, so we're going to use the 2 there. And then we're going to come back here on the purple, and the B is going to be, your B is going to be that one, 4 times 8, times 32. Sorry, it's just messed up there. And you can do this stuff in your head if you want. It's up to you. I'll do it in my head. It's pretty easy. So if you look at this part here, we have 24 times 3, which is 72. I guess I should change color there. Yeah. 72. Oh, I'm messing up way too much. 72 plus 2 times 32 is 64. Now, surface area is equal to all of this, so I'm going to start adding this up. 2 and 4 is 6. 6 and 7 is 13. So surface area is equal to 136. Okay, I think that's pretty easy. It's not too bad. You got to keep track of what's what, how's this working, and so forth. Let me just come back here. The base is going to be the bottom one. Don't forget that. The distance, or your height, your H is going to be the total distance apart from base to base, okay? Over here, the distance again is going to be from base to base, 3. Okay, that's about it. Pretty easy. Hold on. Okay, so we have this handout here. We're going to continue with this. What I'm going to do is zoom in, and this handout here has work out here, but we're not going to use it. But we're going to come out here and just set it up, and I'm expecting for y'all to go back in the calculator and get the correct answer. So let's set this up. First off, let's identify what shape this is. Alright, it's going to be a rectangular prism. So this down here is your base, guys. That's your base. Alright. Now, the height of this shape is going to be this one here. And since it is a rectangular prism, the distance from, I'm going to just, I guess I should put color, more color. The base, my gosh. The base being this part here. rectangle, means my other base is this one here, parallel to it, which makes it a prism, so it's a rectangular prism. The height of this whole figure is the distance from base to base, which is here. Okay, so we're just going to start off very easy. This left-hand side, we'll do two things. We're going to do first off the lateral surface area, which is just the sides. So here's going to go S is equal to P times H. Now let's just look what the P stands for. P stands for the perimeter of the base. P equals to the perimeter of your base. Now if you have the perimeter of the base, it's actually go back to pre-third grade and find the perimeter by adding the things up. So this part right here, hold on. So we're going to set this up, guys, and we've got to find the P. The P is the perimeter of the base. So to get the perimeter of the base, don't forget you need to add them all up. So we're going to go 4, the perimeter, 4 plus 5. And I have two of those, 4 plus 5, and then I have the other side, 4 plus 5. So I'm just going to use like a little shortcut, times 2. I guess I'll put the times 2 on the back. Which you can do the math here. It's at 9 times 2, 18. So the perimeter of the base is 18. The height, again, is the distance from base to base. So that's going to be 7. Now for this formula, it's asking, I'm only doing the surface area, lateral surface area. So in A, I guess I'm going to put the H also in red, you just fill in the formula. So the formula says S is equal to P times H. And put the numbers there. Really easy. So which turns out to be 18 times 7. Alright? And whatever that is, that's your answer. I guess I'll do it real quick. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, so this one right here, it gives you 126. And don't forget, this is area, so and this is meters squared. Now let's do the total, right? That is the lateral. Let's do the total. The total is so much like it, guys. It's like the same thing. Let me block this one out here. And I guess block this one out from the total. And we're going to do a total here, right? So the total surface area is going to be the same formula, right? pH, S is equal to P times my H. Now, I'm not making these things up. I'm just using the formula, reference material, plus 2, and then B. So we're going to do the same idea, we have to figure out each letter individually, and just come back out here and put it together. So P, don't forget the P is the perimeter of the base. So I guess I'm going to have 2 again, a 4 plus 5, which we did earlier at 9 times 2, which is 18. Okay, so P is equal to this. It's going to be equal to, it's going to be 18, right? 18. That's going to be 9 times 2, 18. The H, again, is the distance from one base to the base, which is, again, is 7. The 2 is 2, and then the B, again, don't forget what the B stands for, and no one knows this one pretty good. The B is equal to the area of the base. Now, the area of the base, it's going to be this thing down here. How do you get the area of a rectangle? Length times width, right? So basically, come out here and go 4 times 5. I'm going to tell you this much. It's always going to be the same numbers, guys, because it's going back to the same base, which is 20. Now, let's start doing the formula, right? So P, we're going to go with surface area is equal to P times H times H plus 2B, and plug in the numbers right here. P is going to be 18 times H times 7 plus 2, which is just 2, right? And then B would be which way? And there it is, all the numbers here. Earlier, right over here, we did 126. So I know this part's 126. 126 plus 2 times 20, which is 40. So 126 plus 40 is 146. And then this is area, right? So it's going to be meters squared. I'm going to do it real quick too. Finish this one up. And I'm going to do, again, same thing, lateral and then total. And it does take practice. It's not something you just, you know, I guess you can just get it right away. But it's a lot easier if you practice. So we're going to go lateral. And lateral, again, don't forget, is your sides. It's just pH. I don't know why it's not erasing. pH. Okay, so we're going to come out here, identify the shape. This shape here is going to be a rectangular prism, guys. So if you look at the way they shaded this one, they want that front side, the one facing you, I say that's facing you, to be your base. So I'm going to go ahead and just blue it. This is the one. Now as I do this, I like to see the sides and what numbers I actually touch. The numbers I'm touching are 2 and 9. So to get the perimeter, don't forget that's going to be back in elementary. 2 plus 9. Okay, 2 plus 9, and then another 2 plus 9 to get the distance all the way around, which gives me 11 times 2, which gives me 22. Now the height, don't forget the height. It's just the distance from one base, which is this base here, and going to the other base, which is in the back side over here. Imagine I could still see that back side, see through it. It'd be that back one over there, which is again, now the distance from one base to the other base is 4. Okay, so now the formula is going to be surface area is equal to P times your height, and just plug in the numbers. 22 times 4. So that gives me 22 times 4 is 88. And then inches squared. Now let's go with the total surface area, right? The total surface area is going to be a lot like it, the PH plus 2B. And I should have color coordinated. PH plus 2B. So we're going to go here and just plug in the numbers and work on that real quick. So surface area again, don't forget the P. Oh, I should erase that. Just start looking at all the letters. Okay, so again, don't forget P. P is going to be the perimeter of the base. And they shaded this part so you can know that one as your base. Perimeter, guys, you add 2 and 9. So 2 plus 9, but don't forget I have 2 of them. Plus an H. An H is the distance from one base to the other base, which is 4. Plus 2 is just 2. And the B is going to be, oh my gosh, I messed up so bad. Let me go back. I was just finding my perimeter here, so forgive me on that one. So perimeter again is 2 plus 9, 11 times 2, 22. Checks out, that's what I got before. Height, don't forget your height. Height is the distance from one base to the other base. Height is the distance from one base to the other base, which is here is 4. And then 2 is 2, all this plus, all that stuff. Now we need to get the B. The B is the area of the base. Don't forget that B, big B, is equal to area of the base. Now, if the area of the base is based off of multiplication, so I go to this base here, and I look at this one right here, and I say, how do I get the area of that one? It's going to be a 2 times 9, which gives me 18. Now, the whole formula. I just write the whole formula out. P times H times H plus 2B. Now, when it comes to this part, that's going to be, I did all the work already, so let's just throw in the numbers and see what happens. So P right here is 22 times your height of 4 plus a 2 times, what do we get B? Is 18 times 18. And that's it. So this one over here gives me 88 plus 2 times 18, which is 36. Then we just start adding these things up. 6 and 8 is a 14. Carry the 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 124 inches squared, because it's going to be areas. Okay? Hopefully that works out. Again, this would be your surface area lateral, and this would be your surface area for your total. Hopefully that made sense. That was a long little short video. My gosh, I messed up so many times, so please forgive me, but enjoy the video.